I've been trying to even lobby with financial services. What does a loan, what does collateral look like for me? Can I give you my song in exchange for 100 million Uganda shillings? You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Can we have, can I give you this ring? How do you value this ring? How do I value my poem?
At 15, you were writing for Total
Yes.
Magazine?
Yes.
Is that when you started?
No, I started writing when I was 10.
So were you like submitting your
Yes,
articles?
essays, for essay competitions at school.
How would you
And
describe your personal brand? Sorry, I just went.
my personal brand,
Yeah.
I think, well, warm, free spirited, intuitive,
Yeah.
and grounded.
And grounded.
Yes, and like you said, calming. Yeah. And for my dad, Makerere University is the only university. It's one of those. So it was either Makerere or nothing. I got into the UCU law school, but I was going to Makerere.
I think feminism has also evolved over time.
Yeah.
I mean, because of course, that poem itself would say would be a mouthpiece for feminism in a way. How are you a feminist now? Now that of course, time has gone by, you've
Yeah.
evolved.
I
Yeah.
really have evolved. And I was talking to a friend recently, sharing how the more I learn, the more I realize that I don't know anything.
Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us for these conversations on Crystal One-on-One. Now, we happen to be at the gorgeous Opain Home Uganda showroom, and right now we are on this beautiful leather sofa set made in Italy. It's one of those things you have to just come and see for yourself. At the moment, Opain is running a Black November sale where the furniture, the dining room sets, accessories are 10% off, and that's all through November. Now, my guest today is sitting comfortably.
Yeah.
Don't you want to take this home? Anyway, she is a multifaceted creative. She is a poet. If you're wondering, poet, think poet, singer. She has a beautiful voice. We have interacted so many times over the years. She has just let me know outside of professionally at the events that we've actually worked together. She is a podcast host. I mean, there's so many sides to her. I hear she's writing a book. I have Kabera Angel joining me on Crystal One-on-One.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good. I'm really,
I'm
really
just trying
good.
to contain my excitement. You don't know.
Really?
Yeah, you
Well,
really
thank you
don't
for
know.
joining me
Thank you
and
for having
accepting the
me.
invitation.
I'm glad.
I
I'm
I was
glad.
saying to you earlier that your energy is very calm, very peaceful, very gentle. I'll actually say your energy is very gentle. But then I also know that you have a really quirky creative side to you.
Yes, I do.
For those of you who know her on TikTok, I was like, wait, this angel. But does it all come from the love of words? Where did this start for you?
I think it was an ultimate love for expression.
Okay.
Not even a love, but a need for it
A
growing up.
need. Like you
Yeah.
can't help
You
it.
can't help it. The things you want to say, the feelings I wanted to put out there, experiences I wanted to rationalize as a child. And I think words and poetry and writing in general were my first escape or medium, if that is too deep.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a need, but also a love and a desire to express. But ultimately, it started off as a need for me.
Okay.
Yeah, to cope, to exist, not even in a bad way, but just to exist, you know. And yeah, it was a need.
So you said to express. Does that mean that you used to walk around with like little notebooks and you were
Yes,
always
yes. And actually, I have all of my journals from 2012. Yeah.
That is
up
the coolest
till,
thing
yeah,
ever.
yeah,
Do you ever go back to them or you've just kept them?
all the time, all the time. And it's so interesting because I look at the Angel of 2012 and what she was expressing, how she was expressing it, the Angel of 2025, and it's such a marvel actually to see that, because 10 years from now I'm going to watch this and I don't know where I'll be then, but it's amazing to have that,
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a moment frozen in time,
Thank you.
but then you
Yes.
get to know who that person is at that time
Yeah.
because we're evolving.
Yes.
Apparently, as women, every 5 years we become someone else. That's a very scary thought, but that's what people are saying. Like every 5 to 10 years, we evolve into
Wow.
almost somebody else.
This is the first I've heard of it. But now that you mention it, yeah, I think we have like seasons.
Yeah.
Have you had the whole frontal lobe
Yeah, the development as well.
conversation? Yeah.
But
Okay.
also, maybe I think your priorities keep changing depending on where you are and what your focus is, maybe at that point in time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true because that's generally a very scary thought because that means 20 years down the road with you, I might
Yeah.
get somebody else completely.
Don't be surprised.
So when you go back to the 2012 diaries, are you like, who's this person?
Yeah, I am. Who is this person? I have so much love for the girl that I was, and I see the connection as much as I was in a different season of my life.
Yeah.
I see her in me and me in her.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
a very deep child. I don't know what I was
Do you
doing
know,
being
I
that
was
deep.
just about to ask because when you said you had a need to express,
Yeah.
and then the hardest thing is feelings, putting out feelings.
Yeah.
Normally, you're like your family is your first audience, but they're also the first people to have to deal with you.
Yes.
How was that when you say you were a very deep child?
I was a very observant child,
Okay.
very keen on the feelings of others around me. I'm an empath.
Uh-huh.
So I was very, and I'm a firstborn daughter,
Oh,
firstborn
double whammy.
granddaughter. So I could pick up on so many social cues that not many people, even the adults in my life,
Yeah.
could pick up on. And for very many reasons or experiences, I had to sort of grow up quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think that's where that depth came from. And also, I think my family nurtured it in a way. We were raised in a very interesting home.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at your jewelry as well the entire time you're
Yes,
speaking.
yeah. And this was, my dad is the enabler of all of this.
Are you serious? Oh my
Yes.
God, they're beautiful.
He used
Beautiful.
to travel a lot for work and come back with little souvenirs. And I gravitated towards the crafts. My sisters, all of us were four girls with different
Yes.
personalities. So those who were I wasn't a Barbie doll kind of child. I was a skateboards and all of
Ah,
these weird textures. And they created a room for that, for me to explore that.
okay.
So I think they handled it well. They tried their best. I think growing up, now that I'm older, there's a lot more grace that I extend to my parents. Because, man, bringing new life into this world, you just never know. I don't
Yeah.
think they could have ever thought that this girl, our family lawyer, is now singing and doing poetry.
Wait, you did law?
No, I didn't.
I thought you did journalism,
Yes, I
right?
did
Oh,
journalism,
okay.
but for the
But you were
longest time,
the family.
yes.
Okay, I get it. I get
Yeah,
it.
because we have medicine, engineering, and law and education when it comes to the conventional career path.
Uh-huh.
So until about my A level, everyone was convinced that I would, even myself, that
They
I
were
would
going
be
to
a
do
lawyer.
law.
Yeah, yeah. So
So the decision to go into journalism, when was that made? You did
it
mass
was,
communication, yeah?
yes, and it was purely out of rejection. I failed the pre-entry exam. And for my dad, Makerere University is the only university. It's one of those. So it was either Makerere or nothing. I got into the UCU law school, but I was going to Makerere. So the
Okay.
next best option, which was also his suggestion, because I did a lot. I was writing for Total magazine, like from when I was 15. I did a little work placement in Nation Media. And the universe is very interesting because in my practice or in my daily life, I was doing a lot of journalistic work.
Yeah.
But what I was hearing was the court and law. So my dad said, but why don't you consider journalism? It's a good program. We looked at the electives. They had literature, which I was passionate about, political science. There
Yeah.
was a course unit on law. I was like, I think this brings together a few things
Makes
about
sense.
you. You mentioned it in passing, but I pursued it and I am so grateful. I didn't end up in law school.
I think
So
actually one of
grateful.
my favorite units was political science
Yeah, I
because
love it
also
so
just had the
much.
most fabulous lecturer.
The coolest human beings I've
Yeah.
ever interacted with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
that's
it's almost like the freedom to think outside the box. They're like, go. We'll try and catch up with you, but feel free to go where you need to go.
exactly. I actually did enjoy my uni experience because of that.
Okay.
For the first time, you know, our education system, you're reading to pass exams.
Yes.
But for the first time, and this is from my experience, I was reading for the love of it and being surrounded by people. You know, to find someone in a PhD in media law and he's dedicated all of his life to press freedom. Like, what? 50 years and you're just studying press freedom? This is definitely, you know, fueled by something more than the material. And I really appreciated that pursuit of knowledge for the sake of it, for the love of it. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel like you found your your place.
Yes, I did in uni.
It's
It
a
was
blessing to find it early.
yes,
Because it's like
and
many ways, it's like a springboard. At least I feel personally, as
mm,
someone who did mass communication, majored in broadcasting, radio, TV, and all the other spaces I've been in. I feel
yeah,
like it was literally the springboard I needed, but I didn't have to wait to get started. Because some people,
they
struggle till they
do.
find.
Yes, and a lot of my friends who are older tell me that, and I'm learning not to take it for granted
Okay.
because I've interacted with older people who are just starting to find themselves, pursue their purpose at 40, 50, and they look at me with almost envy. And you don't get it until you see what they're going through and that wrestling. So I don't take it for granted. Yeah, I really
I
don't.
saw that you are, is it a national creative ambassador?
Yes,
How did that happen?
for the TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok. So there's an organization called the International Center for Research on Women,
Okay.
and they're running a project called the Behind the Scenes Project that looks at the lived experiences of young women in Uganda's creative economy. So,
Ah.
because I speak a lot about the creative economy, creative policy across the board, LinkedIn is more formal, talking
Yes.
about policy. TikTok, I'm giving these stories about how I was scammed by Gatekeeper 1 and Gatekeeper 2. So, someone landed on the page and referred me, and I was able to work with them for a year.
Oh,
And
wow. That
it's
must have
it
been
was
fantastic.
yeah, it was also validating because I got onto TikTok really just to test it out and see.
You know, you were saying that you're a shy person.
Yes.
And before I landed on your TikTok page, I would have said yes. Now I'm not sure. I'm like, do I trust the person or do I trust her on TikTok?
Yeah, I think
But do
I
you feel like it's a space that just allowed you to have fun as well?
yes, it is. And also it's a private space for me. As much as I'm publishing on a public platform,
Okay.
in real time, it's just me and my camera.
So you feel like it's a safe space
Yeah, it's a
for
safe
you.
space for me. And over time, I found a community that is like minded. So it's affirming in the sense that, oh, I'm not crazy. You know, there are people who think like me, who like what I'm doing in a certain way. And I also think two things can be true at the same time. Uh, while in person I am reserved, that character on TikTok is also a part of me, just in a certain setting. I think also when I'm with people who've known me longer, get to see that in real time. The context, because we've met when I'm at work, which we
Yes.
talked about, is people don't get it that if it's a concert,
Can I just say, when she's at work, she seems very serious and very focused and very calm. And I understand because you're also there for a purpose.
yes.
Yes.
So in that context, I'm going to show up differently.
Mm.
But then you'll find me like in the club, and many people get shocked. They're like, "Oh my God, Angel, you can dance? You also go to the club?" And I'm, guys, I'm not a monolith. We're
Mm.
multifaceted human beings. But yes, I'm a very shy person.
I don't know if I believe.
Or reserved. I don't know.
No,
I'm
it's
also
interesting that you can
discovering.
be shy, but then you can also have the confidence in your gifts.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people struggle with that. And maybe that's even why a lot of content creators, they're like, they're frozen with the fear or the procrastination. They're like, can I really put it out there? How will it be received? And then you will say, you will share your work. I think recently you were doing a series around, is
My
it a broken
crush.
heart or a crush?
My
A
crush. My
crush.
crush.
Like, so you did like what, 10 poems or
Yes, 10
something?
years.
You see, that's putting yourself out there.
Yeah,
And the
it
other people will
is.
be like, this is mine alone.
Yeah. I think as a creative, my mental, the terms neurodivergent, neurotypical, I just cannot help but share. That's
Yeah.
what I'm here to do. The same way a doctor is here to medicate, a journalist is here to spread information. It is what I do, to share stories.
Do you ever feel like you overshare?
No.
Because you do it in a
Yeah.
conscious way.
I am very
Because
conscious
a
about
lot of
it.
people will think that she shares everything, but the truth of the matter is you
Yeah,
choose what to
I
share.
choose what to share. It's curated. And I hope I'm not contradicting myself. As much as I
No.
try to show up genuinely, I'm also very conscious of the fact that I need to guard myself,
Yeah.
my private self,
Yeah.
and putting myself in the public as much as it's beneficial on to some extent. There needs to be a tact and strategy to it. So it's a strategy. Even the 10 days of poetry,
Yeah.
it came from a genuine place where I was, using this art form to get over this son of Adam. But it's also a build up. It's a launch strategy for my book. I was testing the market. We're told poetry doesn't work well in Uganda. Ugandans want vibe and shidandali. And so I was like, you know what? Let me take people through this journey. And then you have an engagement. You have thousands of people watching. I go out in public and people are like, hey, Angel. So this ring was given to me by a son of Pharaoh. It's in one of the poems. And I go out in public, and when people see this ring, they get so excited, and then they start speaking about poetry, and they say, you know what, I started writing because of this.
Yeah.
And then let me speak as a capitalist. There's a lot to monetize there,
I think
So
that may be what scares a lot of people because you have figured out how to monetize your gifts.
yeah,
And many people don't know how to do it. But I think maybe because we have you and we have a lot of other, content creators. They are doing so many amazing things. Social media, if anything, it has opened the world up to possibilities.
yeah,
I
it
guess at the
has.
end of the day, it's about you taking the leap.
Yeah,
But like you said, not losing yourself.
yes,
In a way, isn't that building a brand also, making sure you have those boundaries around you?
yeah, it is. It is.
How would you
And
describe your personal brand? Sorry, I just went.
my personal brand,
Yeah.
I think, well, warm, free spirited, intuitive,
Yeah.
and grounded.
And grounded.
Yes, and like you said, calming. Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I wanted to go back to, you said 15. At 15, you were writing for Toto
Yes.
magazine?
Yes.
Is that when you started?
No, I started writing when I was 10.
So were you like submitting your
Yes,
articles?
essays, for essay competitions at school. I think it was World Peace Day. That's the one that I remember vividly. And then after World Peace Day, there was the Queen's Commonwealth essay, which I participated in, I think, up until I was in my S6. So the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition run by the United Kingdom for all
Yes.
Commonwealth countries. And then I was in debate, which also required a lot of writing and research. I would say, I don't want to pull this cliche, but I've been writing for as long as I can remember.
Yes, yes.
But when I started honing that skill seriously, was from the age of 10. I was in P4 and it was World Peace Day. I was told to write a speech about World Peace Day and present it in front of the entire school. I was in Aga Khan and he did well. I think they even used the video to market the school or something. And from then on, my teachers, carried me along this journey of
Yeah.
honing that skill. Yeah.
To Aga Khan to Gaza?
Yes.
Yeah. Were you in Gaza the whole
No,
time?
I was in Gaza for my A level only. So
Okay.
from
Oh.
P1 to S4, I was in Aga Khan. And then my parents thought I should switch things up a little.
Okay.
My mom was from, I think,
S-
Buranyanji.
Sorry, you went to boarding school for the first time in A level?
Yes, in
A
A
levels?
level.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And before that, you were at home?
Yeah, but I had a lot. I was in the Girl Guides, so I did a lot of camping. It wasn't a very drastic change for me. Aga Khan is liberal,
Yeah, it's
almost
very different.
international school leaning. Then you're going into this traditional. I'm leaving friends I've known for all of my life into this space, an all girls school.
Yeah.
So it had its challenges,
Yeah.
but I don't die in my movie.
So you made it work for
I
you.
made it work and I enjoyed that experience.
You know, when you talked about the poem in Gayaza, Boda Boda, right?
The border.
I had an actual flashback. I think I cried. I think it was very, very emotional. I'm sorry. I think you need to look for it. Is it on YouTube somewhere?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
Yeah.
But I think I just had like an emotional response. Were you crying? I
Yes,
think.
I was crying.
Okay, first tell me about that.
So we had this competition called the Teen Poetry Slam. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when I got into spoken word. That was in high school. I was 14. So it's an annual slam poetry competition, a national, where schools gather and compete in spoken word,
Yeah.
which is like the free form of poetry.
Yes, yes.
So we were very big on poetry and literature in English at Aga Khan. So we participated, and that's how I got in. So every year I knew I had to write a poem for the slam, and it had to be a poem for the
Yeah.
sake of competition. So I watched a BBC I documentary while I was in Gayaza about the Trokoshi culture, which is, about, the girl child and how, so there's this tradition in Togo, Benin, and Ghana where girls could serve sentences on behalf of their male relatives. So if I have an uncle, Uncle Ben, and he steals a goat and he's sentenced to 7 years in prison, I can serve those 7 years for Uncle Ben. And it was only legally abolished in 1975, which is very recent.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So after watching that documentary, I was so, I don't know, shattered, at the reality of the girl child everywhere.
Yeah, because that means her life doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're seen as objects. And then I started to expand that idea, pick images that were relatable to me as a Ugandan, hence the border stage, and linking the objectification to that experience. I think every woman can test. Can you pass by a border stage and be calm?
Well, I think I'm too grown now, thankfully. But I
Really,
remember,
I used to.
especially when you're in your teens,
When you're in your
so
teens, you're just
scary.
developing, and the switch from being a girl to a woman is so quick.
Yeah.
You don't have the time to grasp it.
Yeah.
You're growing breasts and you realize, oh, these are an object of desire for some people. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a number of older women as well and said, even in our old age, we still get these
Yeah, inappropriate
inappropriate
comments.
comments. So I
I remember back in the day, they'll grab your wrist to try and
exactly
get your
the
attention.
entitlement to the female body. So it was that documentary that sparked what it was an inspiration. And then I just poured and started expanding using images. And then also the pain. There was a lot of pain at the time. Coming again from the transition from Aga Khan to boarding school, it was difficult. you know.
Yeah.
I survived and rose, but it was difficult. So those tears, oftentimes people ask me, they think I'm the victim in the poem. They think that I
Yes.
was, assaulted. I said, no, this is not my personal experience, but the feelings are genuine because in that season, there was a lot of loss, there was a lot of pain. You're a teenager, you don't understand why you've had to make this drastic change. So I channeled all of that pain
So all
into
your
that poem.
emotions into.
Yeah, so those, and I was performing. My former school, Aga Khan, was also competing. So I was competing against my friends.
Oh.
So even when I won, I didn't feel nice about the win because I felt I had betrayed my friends and my school. As much as I love Gayaza, but I mean Gayaza, yeah, Goga, I love
But I
Gayaza.
think we've established that the real loyalty is with Aga Khan.
Yeah, Aga Khan really made me who I am. That's my family, my
Yeah.
home. So and that's the beautiful thing about poetry is I get to channel. It's an escape, but also a form of expression. It's a pacifier for my audience. So all of us are leaving fuller than we arrived.
Yeah.
I'm leaving fuller than I arrived at on the stage, but even the audience walks away with something.
Yeah.
That's the long story of the border stage.
Okay, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was a very powerful piece. And I have a feeling it's gone far and wide.
It really has. In schools, when I was at uni, I came to learn that the Department of Literature at Macquarie University uses the border stage in lessons. Yeah,
Really?
the
Oh, that's so
professors, it's a
cool.
point of reference.
Yeah.
And how I found out I had a roommate in Africa who was studying literature. And so she was doing her coursework in the room, and I hear the poem. And she's like, Angel, this girl really looks like you. I said, oh, okay. I tried
You
to,
didn't say
I
it.
did want to
You're
say,
supposed to own it.
I did want to say, I wanted to hear her thoughts, her unbiased opinion. She was complaining, oh my gosh, all of these images. Dr. Susan Chiguli keeps on referencing this poem. And I'm like, Dr. Susan Chiguli references me? So at the end of the conversation, I say, yeah, it's me. It's like, what? All along? Yeah, so that piece has done a lot for me, but also for even in policy, the sex offences bill, it
Yes.
was used as a point of reference. Um, it's amazing
There's so
art.
many layers to
Yeah, there's so
it.
many layers to it.
Because I know that you also do a bit of activism. You're a
Yes,
feminist as well.
yes,
And I think feminism has also evolved over time.
yeah.
I mean, because of course, that poem itself would say, would be a mouthpiece for feminism in a way. How are you a feminist now? Now that, of course, time has gone by, you've
Yeah,
evolved.
I
Yeah.
really have evolved. And I was talking to a friend recently, sharing how the more I learn, the more I realize that I don't know anything. Does that mean the more the more you know that you don't know? And that's my feminism journey. Because I wouldn't even describe it as a movement. It's a political ideology. It's a school of thought.
Yes, yes.
Feminist
Because I
theory.
think a lot of
So
people don't get it.
yeah, they
And
don't.
they think feminist equals men are trash.
Yes.
And then that's where it
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's go back to where it all started.
There's been a lot of educating myself, a lot of extending grace, empathy, a lot of listening,
Yeah.
more listening than talking. When I started out, I was very passionate, rightfully. So I think there are stages to it. So even now, as I move into a new stage of my life, which is adulting, there's so many concepts like marriage, childbirth, companionship, work, family, succession that I'm thinking about. So I've had to go back to the drawing board and see what this means for me. And right now, I'm at the stage where my feminism is personal and individual. And how I'm practicing all of these ideologies is through the women and men around me.
Yes.
My immediate point of touch, my sisters, my friends. It's empowering them through my words, plugging them with different opportunities. Now, like as a creative, I want to sort of have a pipeline in my value chain. Like when I go on stage, who is doing my makeup? I'm going to look for maybe this young girl who's exploring this craft, and give her the opportunity that she wouldn't have had, and empower her financially, but also let her know that you can sustain yourself through this. It's a
Yeah.
360 thing.
Okay.
If there's a videographer, I'm keen on a female videographer, a woman videographer, though I can also work with a man. And even when I'm working with a man, how am I enlightening him and helping him unlearn all of these internalized isms? So that's what it's looking like right now for me. I started off strong on Twitter, and social activism, digital activism is important. I still do it. But now I'm a bit more slower to speak, because there's a lot of, I think I'm in a season of extending grace to myself and to the people out there. And yeah, so now it's in practice, it's my immediate point of touch. And there's
Yes.
a ripple effect that it has.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I think that's important because I think all of us, myself too, when
Yeah.
you're younger, you're like, you're like,
Just
you want to
on
break
fire.
doors down. You're like, give me the loudspeaker. I am going. And then you
Yeah.
get older and you're like, okay. It's not as
Yeah,
straightforward.
there's a lot
It's not
of
as clear cut,
nuance.
right? There's a lot of nuance, that a lot of the dynamics
Yeah.
sometimes depend on so many other things.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, you learn about our upbringing, you learn about religious background,
Yeah.
all these different things that influence a lot of how people not only
Interact.
move in life,
Yes.
but what they think about even the roles of the sexes and all
Yeah,
of
and
that.
all of
So
that.
it's quite interesting. I love that you said, like, you're learning,
Yeah.
because life is about learning. I am
Never
learning from you right
stops.
now. We never stop
Yeah, it
at the
never
end of the
stops.
day.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, like, you were talking about policy, and I
Yes.
think even in the creative space, that's something that's very, very important
Yeah.
because as Ugandans, we're still just starting to, find our way. I've seen you at events. Do people understand what you do? This is always a question I ask. I'm like, do people understand what you do?
No, they don't. They don't understand it, and they don't know what to do with it. Recently, I did the vlog on how I'm a day in the life of a Soet.
Yes.
And this happens with clients. They say, "Oh, Angel, okay, so what do you do other than this?" And I say, "No, this is all I do." And they look at me like, "Are you
Like, huh?
sure? Are you okay?
So
You
they
know?"
expect you, like, you have your
Yeah, they
your eight to
expect
five job,
like a side hustle, and yeah, a nine to
and then
five,
this is a side
and
hustle,
this is the
probably.
side hustle. So it shocks a lot of people that this is my 9 to 5, and this is my 24/7.
Yeah.
There's
But
no.
also, I think we need to clarify something. A lot of people, like a lot of musicians and fantastic, talented musicians,
Yeah.
are hired to come to events and do a certain catalog of songs, maybe
Yeah.
their most popular songs. But you, at least I've noticed that you will actually curate and create
Yes.
depending on the event, depending
Yes.
on the campaign,
Yeah.
depending on the client, which I think is a lot of pressure,
It is.
but also really admirable.
It's a lot of pressure, a lot of work, and we're only start. People are only starting to appreciate it. The client, just from my social listening, but there was a lot of convincing at the start to enter the room, and I think there's still a lot of convincing that I have to do to enter the room. I know that once I'm in the room and I do my thing, people will, understand it. But to just get those 5 minutes on stage, there's a lot of convincing that you have to do. So back to the question, do people understand what I do? Not fully.
Okay.
So a big part of my work is in my marketing. I'm also educating through my
Okay.
content marketing. Who is a poet, a song poet? Who
Yes.
creates, curates bespoke artwork for your event, for your brand, for your product, XYZ. So poetry is it's like a whole school of thought. That can we give purpose to this work? It is one thing for me to come and perform an already existing piece that's out of touch with whatever reason we're gathering, and it's another for me to collaborate with you and co-create. Let's say if you're Crystal Newman, I don't know, Golden Jubilee, right? I could come and sing a few covers, but to sit with you and learn your story and create something specific to you makes it more memorable, more special.
Yes, and I've seen you do that
Yeah.
again and again. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And people, and I actually don't judge people for not understanding what I do, because I think I'm also still forging what I do. I teach, I do jewelry, I do visual art,
Wait, what?
performance,
You
I
do jewelry?
sing. Yes, I make the jewelry that I wear, apart from the brass, not yet, because I don't have the heat to cast and melt.
Okay.
But most of my work, I'm very crafty. I did art for 6 years, uh, and I still practice it.
Do
So
you paint? Do you draw as well?
yes, I paint. So my chapbook is going to be a handmade book, a limited edition,
Wow.
where I'm going to use bark cloth, different textures and fabrics, and all of that. So I'm an artist. I'm a creative, and we like to, in this society, we like to box things.
Yeah.
So people want, if you're a poet, you sing and you do poetry only.
Yes.
Then they see me another space and I'm drawing. Another space and I'm teaching. Another space and I'm creating content. So I don't blame people for not understanding, because I am such a fluid human being. And I was not conscious of it. I ran away from it for a long time.
Really?
It's only this year that I'm standing in it and saying, this is who I am.
What do you mean you ran away from it? Like,
Hey, I ran away from
like
it.
how?
Trying corporate. So I did journalism and communication, majored in communication. So there was a point in time when I had a 9 to 5 working in communication. I worked with startups as well in communication, but a little bit of journalistic work. Then there was the law degree, the law dream, where I was into debate and policy, and so I treated it like a hobby. But what brought me back was, in all the ways that I tried to run away from it, I kept on being sent back. So even in the comms world, why I was standing out was because of the storytelling gift.
Yes.
I had a job in sales, and I did really well because I knew how to tell stories around the product. And I remember I would go to clients' houses, and there's one particular client, CK, who's the CEO of Motive, who, when I called him, he was so upset. He said, Angel, I don't know why you're calling me to sell me these things. Call me back when you're ready to talk about poetry. And he was so upset. I'm saying it nicely. He was almost disgusted. He was like, "You're calling me.
What are you doing?
Why are you calling me about this? I need you to be calling me about something else." And it was that phone call that actually I sat with myself and I said, "You know what? Stop running. Stop running, and pursue it." Yeah.
She's young, for the record.
Yeah, I'm young.
Because as this was doing this, and this, someone's like, "How old is she?"
Yeah.
No, you are
Very young.
very young.
Yeah. But
But yes,
there's,
you've done a lot.
yeah.
And like you said, you go with the flow. So you, even though you're running away from it, you would still allowed yourself to, I
Yeah.
guess, test the waters.
Yeah, to test
in many
it,
ways.
to test it. But I think I got tired of being lukewarm,
Okay.
and it also got exhausting.
Yeah, actually, sometimes because if you don't fully dive in,
Yeah.
you don't. But you feel like, okay, are you really making any progress?
So in both spaces, I was existing below my capacity,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So yeah, it's an interesting journey. I I'm speaking like I'm so confident and I've figured everything out, but the wrestling is day. You
Yeah.
wake up every day and you're like, oh my gosh, all of these questions, all of these sources of anxiety, especially now that school is done. My peers are now in formal employment. Now I am in the gig economy. People are talking about NSSF and XYZ and insurance, and I don't have all of those benefits of formal employment. I am my own boss. People are clocking in at 9 p.m. I go to work at perhaps, earliest 5 p.m. So there's a lot to sort of, I don't know, come to terms with. Not to compare, to understand that my path is different.
Yeah.
And different doesn't necessarily mean slow or behind. that we're all on our different journeys.
That is true. That
Yeah.
is true. We do tend to like, the grass is greener. Like
Yeah.
you said, you have people who say to you, "Oh my God, you found yourself early. You're doing, what you were born to
Yeah.
do," and then you're like, "But you don't know how I went to be."
Yeah, and sometimes it's still tempting because I'm like, huh, why don't I just go back to the cubicle life? Why? Like it's easier because the system has already been created for you. You're not forging your path. There's a certain formula I can follow, and it's already there. But I mean, your calling is your calling.
True.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You said you started writing really from like the age of 10, you would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
When did you start singing?
Um, I think also from when I was in kindergarten, I remember.
So were you like part of like productions at
Yes,
school and
productions. We had
everything? Have you ever
productions.
had any vocal training?
Vocal training, yes, from church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
So in my teens, I went into church. I was at All Saints teens ministry, praise and worship ministry. At a certain point, at my peak, I was a leader, on the band. Then when I went to Gayaza, there was the choir. So
Okay.
that's where I got the vocal training from.
Yes, yes.
But then I also studied music, classical music, uh, in high school and primary school. So there's
Oh.
that background, technically speaking. But yeah, singing started from when I was in
And musical
kindergarten.
instruments?
Musical instruments was from primary
Okay.
school. The guitar, I did a little bit of the cello, but then boarding school got in the way. I really want to return back to the cello.
I
Return
hope
to
you
the cello.
do.
It's such a beautiful instrument and it's unique. But
Look at the
now
excitement.
it's so adulting is so interesting because then I had the luxury of my parents paying for those services. Now a cello, I'm thinking I need 7 million shillings to get the instrument, then the teacher, but I will get that money and invest in that class. But and I really want to appreciate the schools I went to or the schools my parents took me to, where there was a lot of room for co-curricular.
Yeah.
They weren't these solely academic.
Yeah.
So
And that's what we're starting to lose in our education.
yeah,
Because when we think about a lot of the traditional schools that are well known, I think that was a big part of it. Yes, there was the academics, they went hard, but also all these extras,
yeah,
music, all this was part of it. But
yeah.
we're seeing less and less of that, which is really
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
It
Yeah.
is, and it is really
Because these
heartbreaking.
opportunities have shaped who you
Yeah.
are, and in many ways have given you the confidence to
Yes.
use your
There's so
gifts.
many soft skills. Like, even for my friends who are not pursuing the creative uh, careers,
Yes.
I have a friend who is a biochemist, but I did poetry with her up until our S6. And you can see that the way she communicates in her field and the opportunities that she's been able to get because of that, despite being very young in the profession, speaks to that training, that all round, training. That it's not just books, it's being able to stand up and say, "Hi, my name is Angel. I'm 3 years old and I like to sing," and not shiver with a
Yeah.
microphone.
Yeah.
So, right from nursery school, we used to have productions at Theatre La Bonita. And we would see those guys who used to act at Theatre La Bonita. I don't know the name. Is it Comedy Store? I don't know.
It's a comedy club? Is
Comedy
it?
club or something. They had like a Friday night thing. So when we go to rehearse, like the Alex Mukulus, we would look at them very little like this, and you look at
Oh, wow,
them,
that's such a gift.
you know, so that just expression. There's so much to learn from
Yeah.
expression. So the singing started in singing and dancing. Though as I grew older, I don't know what happened to the dancing side. But now I tell people I have 3 left feet. I can't dance to save my life. But that's where the singing started.
Well, we don't know when you're at home behind closed doors. For all we know, dancing is, I don't know, it's a special thing. There's some
Yeah.
people who wear it's also really part of their identity. Like, I'm sure you have friends where, like, in your circle of friends at parties, they're the ones in the center. They're the
Yeah.
ones that know all the latest dance moves from all the latest videos, and you're just like, I just know how to.
Exactly. Where did you learn? And especially now with Piano, I'm just like, wow,
I know.
love it for you guys.
But I'll be over here.
I'll be here swinging, you know, yeah, yeah.
So the book that you're working on, tell me more about that, please.
So it's, oh wow, I don't even know where to begin. I struggle with imposter syndrome. And like I mentioned, running away from my destiny, one reason or the other, internal or external. So I've been writing this book for about 6 years,
Oh
you
wow.
know,
Okay.
and I also struggle with analysis paralysis. I struggle with many things, but like,
But that's what I was talking about. A lot of people don't move forward because they're like,
yeah,
but.
and
And yet
being
someone who looks at you would think, but you're
doesn't
doing
see it.
all these things.
Yeah. Which is why I don't know how to act when people say I'm calm. Because on the inside, there's just like, there's so much
Turmoil.
I need to be doing, so much that I haven't done. Like there are goals that I've set that no one knows about. So anyway, I think I'm a bit too harsh on myself. I'm learning again to extend grace.
To yourself
But this book,
first.
I've been working on it for 6 years.
Okay.
And it started off as really just for the love of it. Then you get into the poetry and literature spaces. And the Ugandan art scene, especially for these elite art forms, poetry, visual art,
And
is a little
spoken
bit
word.
spoken word. It's a little bit snobbish. So I got a lot of feedback on people telling me, wait, you're too young to publish. What are you doing publishing a book at 17? Edit this. You have a lot more to learn. So there was a lot of
Oh.
feedback that made me hesitate. So I was like, oh, you know what? I think there's still a lot more to learn. So I kept on pushing next year, next year, next year. And now it's 2025. And even the kids that I mentored in S1 are published authors. And I'm like, Angel
That
Kabera.
breaks my heart.
I'm
One
like,
of my daughters,
yeah.
she writes as well. She's always writing. She does comics. She writes, and I think like her role model is an author, Jacqueline Wilson. I
Oh,
don't
yes,
know.
yes,
Yes,
yes. Oh, I
and she
read
knows everything
Jacqueline.
about
Yeah.
her. I think she said she published her first book when she was 11. She's telling me all this stuff, and that's like what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, how many people know this? So when you say that you haven't, I'm glad you're
Yeah.
going to now.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
actually hit me weirdly last night. I, s- last night or this morning, meanwhile, I haven't slept. That's what being a creative
Yes.
is. The idea comes and it won't leave you. You won't be settled until you explore it.
Okay.
So it just hit me. I was like, Angel, what's with this arrogance? You think you have time? Like, you continue pushing this forward. And look, 10 years have passed and you're sitting on this book. So I said, you know what? Whatever it is, I don't care how long I've been in this industry. I have the 300 poems just on my laptop, in my journals from
300.
2012.
Oh my
Do you know,
goodness.
a collection and it's a
Yes.
story. Said, just do this for you. Whatever the critics say, it's okay. And I think it was also very affirming, the 10 days of poetry. To get so much positive feedback,
Yeah.
and especially from people who had just interacted with poetry for the first time, with my poetry for the first time. And the common comment was, the education system sort of takes away from the wonder of the craft. Because many of us interact with poetry in senior one,
Yeah.
literature,
And
literature
school,
class,
and you have to write an
school.
exam, and
Yeah.
it's
David Rubadiri, Red Curtains Meet. Whoa, what does Shaka Zulu's spear? And people get so thrown off. And then through the 10 days of poetry, I think people were seeing the poetry in our everyday lives, that everything is poetic. And for them to verbalize that, I said, you know what, Angel, just do it. Just do it. It's better to have something out there and improve on something that's tangible than to improve on a concept. So that's the book.
and also chances are it will never be
Yeah,
ready.
it will never be ready. It's a collection of love poems that I've written over the years in my exploration of love, whatever that means. Love with God, love with sons of Adam, sons of Pharaoh, love for myself, friend,
Why do you call them sons of Adam and sons
because
of
it's so adequate. It's so,
Eve?
I don't
You
know.
feel it is, it properly
It's
encapsulates what
yeah, you get it. You get it. You get
you
a
get
son
it.
of Adam. There's a picture in your head. There's a son of Judah. You know, Judas.
I don't know if everybody gets it quite the way you do,
The people,
but
if you know,
it's just that joy and beauty of
yeah,
language.
yeah, exactly the beauty of language. So, and when I look at the poems, what love is, how I've understood it over the years, womanhood, all of these different nuances in love, relationships, how we interact with other people, the different levels, love with parents, love with friends.
Yes.
I think there was a point in time when I started writing the book, I was fixated on romantic love. And then as
Because
I've
most people, when they think of love, that's what they think
yeah,
about.
and we focus so much on romantic love, but then through all of the experience I've had, like losing a parent and XYZ, I've seen the power of platonic love. And for me, the benchmark for love
Yeah.
is my friends. So when I'm looking at a romantic partner, like if I compare, my friends do this for flowers, my friends get me flowers. Validation, what's up, my friends? Gifts, my friends. So dear.
Well, I like to think that in a relationship there are certain
Yeah,
things
there are certain
you
things
will
that you
do
can't get,
that you can't
but
get anywhere
yeah,
else.
anywhere
Yeah.
else, that's
Which is how it
true.
should be.
I wanted to hide my visual artist self because, to be honest, the visual art space is such a snob space. It's so exclusive. I don't know why. Perhaps they have their reasons. But yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming. But
Okay.
again, I'm tired. Last night, it hit me, the imposter syndrome. I was going to say no to this because I was like, who am I to be on Crystal One?
Oh, you're
Me,
gonna break
Angel.
my heart.
Well, then at 2 a.m., I said, Angel, you need to stop. You need to stop with all of this. So that's the collection. It's going to be a thick book. I think that's why I'm starting with a chapbook, which will have
Okay.
about between 10 to 20 poems,
Okay, okay.
limited edition, and then as I prepare for the collection. Yeah,
Well, that's exciting.
it is.
And now that you said it on the show,
I
you know
can't,
we're not going to let
yeah, I
you
can't
rest. We're like,
underperform.
where's our book? Where are our poems?
Yeah,
Don't hide them and don't just share a few.
coming. They're coming.
Coming
Yeah, I'm so
soon.
excited. I'm actually going to, when we asked about my day, I'm working on the cover page for the chapbook.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah.
So you will struggle to decide, but once you decide, then
I do it,
you
and I
just
do
move
it
forward.
then. Like it's itching me, like that itch that.
So I should let you go.
No, 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 no.
We
Even
need to
this
let
is
you go so you can get
even
started.
this is part of the process. Don't be surprised if like there's a poem, Crystal. I don't know. Yeah, because it's part. I think this is such a full circle moment. I'm very spiritual. Oftentimes it spooks people out, but I think we're connected. I don't think it's a coincidence. Now, like with you, it's so strange. You're also called Angel, is it not?
Yes, yes.
All of these coincidences, these are just dominoes playing,
I
falling in
know.
place. You get what
Cause,
I mean?
cause if we're to be honest, I've
Yeah.
interacted with you since you were how old?
I think I don't
Because
know,
if we're
but
talking about Aga Khan, really,
Aga Khan, you might have known me when I was 10.
yes,
Yeah, you might
chances
have
are.
known me. Because my sister is 3 years. Yeah, she was your daughter's friend. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And I have a memory. Yeah, I never forget her face.
Now I know that you're gifted in so many ways. What can I just say? I think you're such a gorgeous singer.
Thank you.
You are,
Thank you so much.
every
Thank you.
now and then when you have a little, I'm like, I wish we could have more of that. But then I know I'm
Yeah.
also being greedy because you do so many things.
Yeah.
But just never stop singing for me.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll
of
keep
course,
singing.
poetry is important, but just me,
Yeah.
this is my request from deep, deep down inside.
I'll keep singing.
Okay.
Definitely not gonna stop. Yeah. Yeah. I also like it. I
I
really
hope
do love it.
so.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, it's nice to know that there's so many sides to you.
Yeah.
And I feel like by putting yourself out there, you are allowing very many other people, yeah, well, just creatives to also dare.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also to, you in your own way, you're carving your own path, especially for, at least for Uganda right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, I've never met anyone like you. Like when they see you perform at a lot, I'm sure, of these events there,
Yeah.
they're like, oh my gosh, I've never
Yeah.
seen anything quite like that. So, yeah, you're doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm trying. I hope, there's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out. And I think it's given me a deep sense of purpose to know that it's inspiring other people,
Yeah.
especially when it comes from older people, because it's a bit sad. Like, I'm going to say his name, I'm going to name drop Ben Mwine. I think I met him when he had just started acting, and he said, Angel, I wanted to act for so long, and I don't blame the older generation, because I think in many ways we are privileged to even have the opportunity to pursue our dreams. For the older generation, I think you had to do what you had to do
Yeah.
to pay the bills.
Yeah.
There was no internet, there was
All the
no
expectations of your
all of.
parents and your
Thank you
community
very
around
much.
you.
So he told me, I had to do what I had to do. Now I'm at a stage in my life when I can afford to explore this thing that's been heavy on my heart, and said, so Angel, yeah, I just started acting, I think at the age of 40. And he said, so keep doing what you're doing. I wish I started. And for someone old to say that, I said, I need to make sure the young Bens, the young Angels, it's very scary because I don't want to mislead anyone.
Oh, you're
You get.
not. I mean, I think that would only happen if you are, not being true to yourself, or,
Yes, that's true. But, social media by design glamorizes a lot of things.
Well, that's true.
And where I don't want to become a motivational speaker is I am not yet scalable. You get what I mean? Why the conventional path works is, while there are exceptions to the rule, it's been tested and tried over time. So there's yardsticks for success and whatever, like if you go to school, you can get a job, be employable, earn a living. No, no, no. We've seen people who've succeeded in that. Now, when it comes to Sowetry, I'm only Sowet. So even like when I said like the whole NSSF situation, Social Security, I don't have a company that's paying my insurance.
Yes,
You get.
yes, yes.
So I'm forging systems for myself and testing them. I'm faking it till I make it.
Yeah.
And the goal is to have some sort of formula that I can scale for other people.
Yeah.
And that's where I don't want to lead people astray, because I want them to know that it's hard. There are times where I will get sick and I don't know where I'm getting that money from, because unlike you, I don't have an assured salary at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah.
That's not
We
how
don't
my
have
earning
medical
works. We
insurance.
don't have,
Some
so
things that actually people take for granted.
they take for granted, but and also with observing fellow creatives and sort of benchmarking from the poets, the musicians, the band guys, the orchestra, the guys in creative management and XYZ. So it's I see that I'm an inspiration, but it keeps me on edge because I don't want to mislead people. It looks fun, like there's a friend,
I hear you.
you know,
For the record, I think you can do your own NSSF now. You can even sign up
yeah,
and come up with
like
your
and
own.
I've been trying to even lobby with financial services. What does collateral look like for me? Can I give you my song in exchange for 100 million Uganda shillings? You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Can we have, can I give you this ring? How do you value this ring? How do I value my poem? Can I give you a verse? Now, in other economies, more sophisticated economies, like Mariah Carey, by the way, you look like her. You look like Mariah Carey so much. I don't know if this is the first.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
what?
you really do look like her. It's been on my mind. Let me just
I
say
don't
it.
think anyone has ever said that to me.
But you see her Christmas, there's a song, It's Time.
Yes, yes.
She just has to wait for December and she's
Yeah.
back on the charts
Oh
and
yeah, and she
she
makes
can
God
build
knows
a
how
house,
much.
So that's what I'm working towards. It's a bit bigger than myself, so that the baby who is being born today, the Soweto who is being born today, by the time she gets out of school, she has found a system and she doesn't have to hustle and struggle like I have. Get what I mean? So
I like
yeah.
that. Not to dump on anyone else, but I feel that there are a lot of people, like you said, who are kind of motivational speakers, but they're not really speaking from experience. They're kind
Yeah.
of just using the same generic
Yeah.
advice that has been out there for the longest time to position themselves as motivational speakers.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really is timing
Yes.
that will allow you to be in a position where you can
Thank you
actually
so
say,
much.
okay, now I can
Yeah.
speak about this.
Yeah. Thank you. So it's a lot because there's privilege to it. There's
But there's
positioning.
responsibility.
There's responsibility. Not to say that I don't like the word lucky. I don't think I was lucky, but I was prepared, but also in the right place, positioned well.
And you had support.
I had support. So the border stage positioned me in the women's space, and that's how I was able to get into NGO space. And so now I have my seasons. So I have my pipeline of gigs. But if it hadn't been for Gayaza being positioned in an all-girls school and profiting off of that brand, I don't know if I would have been here. You get what I mean? So it's very specific. When I'm giving advice, I need that aspect of scalability. Can you replicate it to Crystal's life and it works out the same?
Right.
That's what I'm still working on. So when it comes to inspiring people,
that's a lot of self-awareness right there.
I meet young people and they're like, Angel, I want to drop out of school. I'm like, stay in school, please. Stay in school. Even me, I finished my degree. Stay in school. Get that degree because we need educated creatives.
Yes.
There's a lot you learn from school that's not just the book stuff. Or
school is experience the social networks and just being able to exist with people from different backgrounds with different mindsets. I think that's the first start preparing you for the world as an adult. It's the environment the school gives you, especially uni.
Exactly. Or even like work looks like fun, like Flow with Baba Luku and Spider MC and all of these people. And people are going to see the videos and it looks like fun. But I'm networking, I'm positioning, I'm learning, how to rhyme and picking sounds. So I'm very keen on the effect that it has. Audiences are so impressionable. But there's also a boundary that I'm setting where, again, I'm an empath, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for you. So don't copy and paste. Don't believe everything on the internet. Yeah. I've gone round and round, but I felt I needed to.
I hear what you're saying. You're saying much as a lot of people are like really appreciating what you do, letting you know that you're an inspiration. You also feel that there's a very big responsibility, and you don't want to mislead anyone. Because you have put in a lot of work to get to where you are today. And I think that's always a challenge for creatives. People don't realize the amount of work and focus and courage it takes to keep, hitting whatever milestones you hit.
And there's a lot of, I'm just at the start. I started counting from 2014, which is crazy that it's 10 years.
11.
Oh my days, 11 years. What the heck? now, now I know how like millennials feel. Like I feel so old. Like
you are not old. How dare you?
Thank you very
How dare
much.
you?
I'm not.
Don't you dare. Because then what am I, ancient? It's not fair.
10 years are like, it feels like 1 year. There's a lot more to do.
Yeah.
A lot more to figure out. But the treasure, the pleasure is in the journey, not the destination. And whatever it may be, I'll get there. But let me enjoy it.
And you're open to see what happens.
Yeah.
That's a gift. Well, Angel, thank you so much for joining me. I feel like I've been smiling the whole interview.
So have I.
This is so lovely.
Thank you for having me.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I will.
And thank you for coming on Crystal One-on-One.